What's up, everybody? It's Jared here with another video. Today I want to talk about how the Packers are going to replace Davante Adams. I hope you enjoy this video. If you could do me a favor though real quick, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And after this video is over, if you watch it the full way through, share it with a friend. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time though. Let's get into the video. Earlier this month, after placing the franchise tag on Davante Adams, the Packers did the absolute unthinkable in my mind and traded him to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now this isn't about Davante Adams. This video is about how the Packers are going to replace Davante Adams. And an option that they currently have right now is to replace him with a veteran. But at this point, I don't think they're going to do that necessarily, unless of course the draft does not play out the way they want it to. Right now on the market, you have three key, very big name receivers in Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and Julio Jones. Odell is a dynamic player. According to Jalen Ramsey, he's still a top 5 receiver in the league.
I like that. That's what I was waiting on.
Actually, I'm going to go Odell 4. I'm going to go Odell 4.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go Cooper Kupp.
Odell is a phenomenal talent. Jarvis Landry is an amazing route runner who has great hands, just like Odell. And Julio Jones is a former top receiver at his position. But Rodgers has noted in the past that sometimes developing chemistry with players is a harder thing, which is part of the reason why I expect them to not sign a veteran free agent, because at this point, I think the receivers they have on the roster and the ones they want to get in the draft are going to be good enough to suffice for the Packers at this moment and with the cap space they have. Plus, a rookie is going to be much more affordable than an Odell Beckham or that a Julio Jones is going to ask for. And Julio is interesting because there has been multiple reports at this point of some scouts and some executives that believe Julio Jones is washed up, and that could be part of the reason why he's currently not on a team. I think that Julio's probably just weighing his options, because I'd assume a player at his caliber, even if he is washed up, the respect he's going to demand from a defense is going to be interesting. I like Julio. I hope he ends up on a good team, but the Packers are not going to be that team, I think. Now, the most and obvious place to pick a replacement player for Davante Adams is going to be the draft. And just like the last few years, I think it's a receiver-heavy draft again. Now, to be honest with you, unless the Packers trade up, I don't think they have a shot at landing Garrett Wilson, the consensus number 1 in this draft. Nor do I think they have a shot at landing Chris Olave or Jameson Williams at the positions they're picking at currently. Unless they traded up to get those guys, which I could see them doing because they do have 2 1s. They could package a first and another pick, still have a first-round pick, and take 2 receivers in the first round and trade up to take one of the more premier wide receivers in Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, or Garrett Wilson. But Garrett Wilson's price to get up that high is going to be interesting because I think Garrett Wilson's a top 10 player in this draft and will probably be drafted in the top 10. Chris Olave, probably top 15, Jameson Williams, top 20, and I think they're going to go in those places respectfully. And that is not where the Packers are picking. The Packers are picking 22nd and 28th. So it's going to be hard for them to get one of those players. But 2 receivers that they could go get, that they wouldn't have to trade up for, possibly, is Jahan Dotson from Penn State, who's a burner. He's a speedster. He can be used in the return game for punts and kicks as well because he just has that top-end speed. And then another interesting option is Treylon Burks from Arkansas. Last year, he was used by the Arkansas Razorbacks as more of a Deebo Samuel type player, and I think that Matt LaFleur, coming from a Shanahan-style offense, could probably do the same and use Burks as an offensive weapon. Now, I don't think Burks is going to be able to be the caliber player of Deebo Samuel, specifically in his first year. But if the Packers landed to Treylon Burks to Jahan Dotson, I think both of those receivers would complement the receivers that are currently on the roster for the Green Bay Packers. Now, my next question is, who on the Packers roster can help step up and fill Davante Adams' shoes now that he is no longer on the team? In my opinion, in the red zone, expect to see when he becomes healthy again, Robert Tonyan to take over a lot of targets in the red zone. He's a big body, and Rodgers has a decent connection with him. Aaron Jones could be used much more in the pass game than ever before because they already do have a running back in A.J. Dillon who can pound the rock in between the tackles like I feel like no other running back can do. I think that Allen Lazard will also step up really big. And yeah, I'm just listing off some of the Packers players, but I think you're going to see a big uptick in the targets, receptions for all of these players. Because number one, they've been there with Rodgers for a while. And they're all talented and they've performed well in the Packers for the past. There's just always been such a heavy focus around Davante Adams and what he brings to that offense, which I love Davante. Don't get me wrong. I think he's amazing. He's the best receiver in the league. It's going to be impossible for the Packers to replace him. But all three of these guys can fill his shoes. But none of them are going to have the chemistry that Davante and Rodgers had. The only player that could possibly do that is Randall Cobb, who is maybe a little bit past his prime. But when Rodgers is going to need to play on third down next season, expect him to go Cobb's way. I think all four of these guys are going to be extremely valuable at their respective positions in fantasy if you're in like a regular 10-man PPR league. But I think the Packers offense will be very, very good with these guys stepping up to try to fill the shoes of the loss of Davante Adams. And the Packers offense might look a little bit different without Davante because you don't have that receiver that can just demand double and triple coverage on every single play like Davante did. I expect the Packers to actually run a lot of two-back stuff with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon both on the field at the same time. Maybe not directly in the backfield, but Aaron Jones is a great pass catcher. I think he'll be used as an offensive weapon next season, and A.J. Dillon will be their leading rusher in attempts and possibly even yards because he's a strong running back. He's got massive legs, and he can break tackles just off of pretty much anybody in the league if he really wants to. But the Packers are going to be a lot different in this upcoming season, and I'm excited to see what they do and how they really find a way to supplement the loss that they have to deal with on the offensive side of the football with losing Davante Adams. That was all I had for you today, though. If you like this video and you watched it the whole way through, I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button right over here. And if you enjoyed this video, here's another one like it. I appreciate it. And share it with a friend. Have a good day, though. Peace.